Before ending his career, Eric Cantona won a Premier League, FA Cup and an FA Charity Shield. Meanwhile, Marco van Basten's injury was so brutal, by the end of it, he had to retire at the age of 28. But let's begin by talking about Landon Donovan. He had to retire on 3 separate occasions after simply losing passion. First time was at the age of 32, which is very young for a player of his caliber, as he opened up about motivational issues and mental health battles.
Number 47, 48 goals. It's a hat-trick for Landon Donovan.
In ways that maybe no other player will do ever.
Donovan chasing it down. Yes! And the American legend puts the nail in the coffin.
Which, when considered one of the greatest American players of all time, is respectable. 2 years later, in 2016, after just 9 appearances, seemingly retired for real this time.
As some people may not yet know, or some people are just hearing, I've decided to come out of retirement. It sounds crazy to say.
Then in his tweet announcing his return in football. Like I said on Twitter, when I was young I started playing football with Mexicans and it's always been a dream to play in Mexico. Donovan's surprise of an retirement or retirement shocked the American world. And to this day, nothing Landon Donovan does should really surprise us any longer. Andre Schürrle, however, was certainly better at managing his own football career. Although he had all the money in the world, he felt lonely. His contract was mutually terminated a year before it was due to come to an end with Dortmund. Schürrle promptly announced his retirement from professional football, which came to a shock to many. And as much as winning a World Cup, Premier League, and being a 2-time DFB Pokal winner, it shows us as much as we love football, an individual's happiness is the most important thing. Which, however, is a career unavailable to Marco van Basten, who had no choice but to retire. He damaged his ankle so bad he had to retire at age 28. And after the injury, he would often crawl from his bed to his bathroom. Marco van Basten, a 3-time Ballon d'Or winner, FIFA Player of the Year in 1992, UEFA Best Men's Player of the Year in 1992, winning a Serie A, 1992 World Soccer Player of the Year, and the list goes on. Van Basten said himself, "It was very difficult because I went from the highest level in football down to the lowest level of personal unhappiness." And Van Basten admits that at his lowest, he was concerned he had bone cancer. It had gone from bad to worse, which still to this day, Marco van Basten is limited to what he can do. However, Eric Cantona's situation is not related in any sort of way. Simply, Eric Cantona lost passion. Sir Alex Ferguson's 3rd book explains the 1996-97 season was Cantona's final campaign, and after a poor performance against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League semi-final, the Frenchman knew his heart wasn't in it. United lost both legs 1-0 and crashed out of the tournament. Meanwhile, after his Manchester retirement, Manchester won the Premier League 2 seasons later, they won the Champions League 2 seasons later, and they also won the FA Cup 2 seasons later. And Manchester United, after the next 4 seasons after his retirement, they won 3 Premier Leagues. Which after his retirement, Eric Cantona said, "Nobody believed in me, but when I lost that passion, I retired, no regrets." And he even claimed that he could have continued to play for another decade, but he chose not to. But yeah, you can have 5 more years if you have the passion, and that just went out like a light switch.